My brother thought it would be funny to drug me on my wedding day. I was standing at the check-in counter in Chicago 3 hours before my wedding in New York. The agent took my passport, typed for a second, and then froze. He looked at me like I was a high-level fugitive. He told me I was on a temporary no-fly list due to an incident at the terminal 6 hours ago. I had no idea what he was talking about. I remember being at the airport bar for my bachelor send-off. I remember having 2 drinks with my brother, Marcus. Then everything went black. I woke up on a bench in the parking garage with a massive headache and 1 missing shoe. The agent called a supervisor who showed me a grainy security video on a tablet. At 2 a.m., a man who looked exactly like me was trying to scale the security fence near the private hangars. He was screaming that he had to save his wife. He was eventually tackled by 3 guards and taken into custody, but released when he claimed he was having a diabetic episode. I felt sick. I am not diabetic. I looked at Marcus, who was standing behind me looking very guilty. I asked him what he put in my drink. He started stuttering about how it was just a joke and that he didn't think I would actually lose it. He had slipped a crushed-up sedative into my whiskey because he thought it would be funny if I missed my flight and had to drive. He didn't account for the fact that I have a history of sleepwalking when I am under extreme stress. I had spent the last year terrified that something would go wrong. My father passed away the night before his own wedding anniversary. My best friend died in a car wreck 2 days before his ceremony. I was convinced I was cursed. When the sedative hit my brain, my subconscious took over. I thought my bride, Clara, was dying, and I had to get to her immediately. The airline wouldn't budge. I was a security risk. I was banned from the sky for at least 24 hours. My wedding was starting in less than 5 hours. I grabbed Marcus by the collar, told him he was dead to me, and ran for the car rentals. The drive from Chicago to New York is normally 13 hours. I had less than 5. I rented a high-performance sedan and pushed it to the absolute limit. I didn't stop for bathroom breaks. I didn't stop for food. I just kept thinking about Clara standing at the altar alone, thinking I had abandoned her just like the men in my family always did. My phone was dead. I had no charger. I was flying blind. I hit New York City limits with 10 minutes to spare. I ditched the rental car in a loading zone and sprinted 3 blocks to the chapel. I burst through the double doors just as the processional music started. I was covered in sweat. My tuxedo was wrinkled. I was still wearing the mismatched sneakers I had bought at a gas station in Ohio. The entire room gasped. Clara was standing at the back of the aisle, her veil trembling. I didn't wait for her to walk. I ran to her. I fell to my knees and grabbed her hands. I told her I was sorry. I told her about the drink, the airport fence, and the 800 miles of highway. I told her I was never going to let the curse win. She didn't get mad. She didn't even look at my shoes. She just pulled me up and kissed me right there in the entryway. She whispered that she had been calling me all morning and that when I didn't answer, she just sat on the floor and prayed I was still alive. We got married 10 minutes later. My brother never showed up. I found out later he was too scared to face me after the police called him about the drugging. I haven't spoken to him since. Clara and I are on our honeymoon now. We took a train. I think I am done with airports for a while. Every time I look at my wife, I remember the feeling of that steering wheel under my hands and the way the sun looked rising over the Pennsylvania Turnpike. I used to think I was cursed, but now I know that even when my brain tries to break, my heart knows exactly where home is.